Right, hi guys, welcome back to the channel again. As you can see in front of me, I've got an array of custom jerk baits that I'm going to talk you through. So I've got a few more down here as well, but what I'll do is I'll start by saying that when you're going out jerk baiting for pike, because these are pike lures, there's no two ways about it. What you need to do is you need to take the correct tools with you for unhooking them. So obviously you need to take a mat with you, or if there's some nice wet grass, maybe you can use that. But stones, rocks, things like that, bit of a no-no. So start by a really good set of cutters. So if you get a dodgy hook up, which sometimes happens, you need to cut that hook because it's all about the fish welfare. You've got it in net. There's a dodgy hook up. Cut that hook, get the lure out. You've got your picture, nice release. Unhooking tools, heavy duty forceps, some forceps for holding another hook. So take a couple with you. A must. Got to take them. So that's that out that way. So let's talk about customs. So what I've got a load of Mark Benton's lures there. So these are quality. They're all quality really, but I love the Ben 10s. They're brilliant, and unfortunately I don't make them anymore. So that's one in an albino pattern there. So what you normally have on retrieve here, it's got a bit of a rattle in it, but it'll hang on the tail like that, and a twitch or a sweep at rod will make it dive down and hang like that, and it'll come up slowly. And I think personally, I think these work quite well because I've studied pike for years, and I think that the little juvenile pike, they try and make themselves look big because the predators themselves, so they'll try and make themselves look big. So there's your pike there, and he's sort of like standing proud like that, making himself look. If he's like that, he don't look that big, does he? But if he's like that in front of a big female or a bigger male, he's trying to make himself look big so he can avoid being eaten. And the diving action and him hanging like that and coming up, I think it's that triggers the bigger pike into taking him. They think, oh, you think you're that big, do you? I'm having you, bang. And he's on. So I think that's one of the reasons why these work so well. So if they were attacking jacks, I'd use that pattern. If they were attacking roach, there's that pattern. In a roach pattern, same procedure where you're tapping rod, let it hang, tap, let it hang, so you can fish it down a ledge or down into the bottom of a river or something like that. So if I were fishing a place that were predominantly like trout, like a trout reservoir or a trout water, I'd use that one. So that's a brown trout pattern. So it's what they're used to eating, so you're sort of matching the hatch, aren't you? And then you've got the more colourful ones in like a clown pattern, what they call a clown pattern. It's a shame they don't make them anymore, but there you go, that's that. So cracking loads of them. If you can get your hands on one of them, then go for it. So, but he also made us a jointed pike as well, swim bait. So if they're not wanting that kind of thing, and they're just wanting a pike swimming along, minding its own business, big pike down here, bang, she'll eat it, she'll have that. And there you can see the action. They're a quality lure, really are. So they're all customs. You've got a Barry Robinson glider there in I remember it'll come back to me, that pattern. But bit different at Ben 10. You sort of twitching rod and they'll glide from side to side like that. So they're a good lure as well. All these lures will catch fish. And then we're on to good old Dave Greenwood. Shout out to that guy, he makes some class lures, really does. And he made me a sabre in brown trout. There's a few places that'll go and fish, they've got a lot of brownies in, and I'm fishing for pike. They're used to seeing that, coming past them, like that. Up, bang, another one. So there's also, in a place where I fish, there's a lot of roach as well, so I asked him if he'd make me a foiled roach sabre, and he didn't disappoint. There's a DG lures there, cracking lures. Again, if they're in a shallow bay, there's the tail fin on that one. I think that's a glider, brown trout pattern again. Nice and shallow turn on them like that. So there's that one. He also did that's signed by Dave Greenwood, but I think that's a Buster jerk. Yeah, rattling it, loads of noise. But he did a repaint on that, and I managed to get my hands on it, so well chuffed with that. So yeah. I've also got a few more of his tail baits, similar things, sort of like jerking, getting pike's attention, trying to get him in the face. What else have we got? A few more DG lures here as well. What have we got down here? Another one by Dave there, the Big Dipper. Similar action to Ben 10, dives, hangs, comes up, dive, hang, roach pattern. And I've another one somewhere in I think it's a pike pattern as well. So another lure there, brown trout, jerkbait, quite an heavy sinking lure. I got it off a guy in Scotland, and I can't remember his name off at the top of my head. Hopefully he'll be watching this and he'll get in touch. But it's his initials are AK. So if you know the guy, drop us a comment in comment section and let me know, because I've forgotten. Atrocious sometimes, an age thing. So yeah, Peter Temple. Another one in brown trout, like a glide bait. So what they do is they'll if you sweep the rod, they come more wider action than a jerk. Jerk baits might be a bit like that, where a bit tighter. Whereas these will glide wider. Let them go wide. So he's done me a few patterns of them. Pike pattern if we're attacking jacks again, brownie for attacking brownies. So there's a few there for me to go at. Another one that Mark Benton did me for if I'm fishing on rivers. It's a chub pattern. So if they're attacking little chublets, pike are about, they're used to seeing it. Bang. Going to get nailed. So if I were going to fish a river, I'd stick him on, let him have a go at it. What I also do is, because they're quite expensive to buy, but I'm not complaining about the price of them at all, because you're paying the guy who made them. You're paying for his experience and his knowledge and the time that he puts into making something like that. So they're not like your run-of-the-mill sort of, ones that you'll get off a production line. These are handmade by these guys, and they're worth every penny in my eyes. but I don't want to lose it in a snag, do I? So what I'll do is I'll put an heavy split ring on its nose there, and then on the trebles I'll debarb them as well. You know, that's just what I do. I'll put a weak split ring in there, something like, I think these are £37 of these, but I'm using like 80-90 pound braid, sometimes £100 braid, and I'm using a single strand titanium wire trace that's I think they're £100 as well. So that's the weak link right there. So if I hook him into a snag, hopefully I can pull and pull, and that little split ring there, that little guy there, will open up, and I'll just lose that, and I'll get my precious lure back, hopefully. Doesn't always happen, but you know, don't let budgie smugglers. Don't try that at home, kids, by the way. Another one there. That's a tail bait made by a guy called Dodo Lures, and that again, that's like a shallow sort of tail bait, glide bait. So it'll sink really slow. It's got a nice little wobble on it, and you can glide it, you know, in the shallow bays if they're in there searching for a meal. So there's a few of them there. Like I say, there's a few quid there, but I think they're worth every penny. So really, you've got your Barry Robinson, your Mark Benton PM Laws, have a look at him, Peter Temple, your Dave Greenwoods. They're all top law makers in my eyes. So there's a load of them there. Another one by Peter Temple. Again, different pattern. You know, if they're homing in on brownies, I'll stick him on. If they're homing in on rainbows, I'll stick him on. If they're having a go at pike, jacks, I'll go with him. So there's a use for every lure, really. So I think I got that one out, but that's Dave Greenwood's Big Dipper again. He's making them there, quality lure. What else we got? Another one by Mark Benton, I think, one of his earlier creations. 2021, so not that early. But another, like a shallow jerkbait. You know, if you're fishing in, say, canals, one that I fish in, it's no good at the minute. It's chocolate with boats, but in like winter time when boats have stopped and it's cleared up, he's perfect for jacks. Jacks will nail him. So there's that one. The one I got off of my mate Barry Henderson up in Scotland, pike traps. I think it's a Swedish make, and it were, I think it were more of a surface lure with that, but I wanted it just to get down a little bit more, so I've added a bit of lead wire to shank of that treble just to get it down, and it works how I want it to work then. So they've all got the purposes, you know. Another one there, little Burtox. I think that's a jumper. Got that off my mate Paul Bosworth from River Piker Shop. Check him out. I think he's still got a fair few of them in there. So got that one. Another one there. Brown trout pattern again. So I can switch, you know, all these. If I'm fishing a brown trout water, or one that's got brownies in it that I'm pike fishing, I've got different sort of lures in brown trout that do different things. you know, for different depths that I'm fishing at. So if I'm in a shallow bay, I'll put my Dave Greenwood glider on. If I want to get down a little bit, I'll put that one on, or a Peter Temple one. So I've got a few in brown trout, but I can switch between them depending on, you know, what depth it is where I'm wanting to track my lures at. So say if I were fishing, I don't know, 15, 20 foot, then I'll stick one on that's a faster sinking lure that'll get down in the faces. But sometimes they'll come up and nail them. You know, if they're in a feeding mode and they're looking up, you know, and they see a sabre coming past them about, you know, maybe 8 foot down, 10 foot down, and they're down at bottom 17, 18 foot, they'll see silhouette of it and they'll be up and they'll nail it. So they still work, but if you want to get them down, if they're being a bit finicky, they don't want to move far, if you can put one down nearer to them, they're more likely to grab it. There's another one in brown trout there I got off Paul from River Piker shop, another one there. Stick them down there. What else we got? Let's have a look. I think that's Mark, is it Marcon? I'm not sure. PB glider. I like that pattern. That yellow and black pattern, that's a good pattern for me. I've got confidence in it. If you've got confidence in a lure, you know, you'll put it on more and you'll catch more with it because it's on longer. So, but it's nice to have a switch up. So if you can, I'm absolutely shocking sometimes with, you know, I've remembered all of these, but that one, it's PB glider. Don't know if you can see that. So if you know who makes that, give us a shout. Let us know in comments. What else we got? I was saying about the yellow and black stripes. Krill baits. Krill baits are just a cracking bait for me. They do a smaller version of this. This is a 13.5 slow sink. So I think that's in a killer bee pattern, krill baits, a Godfather jerk, and they've got a really tight action to them. Caught loads of fish on them, cracking low. So get on to krill baits, have a look at them, tell them I sent you. So that one's the killer bee. I've got another one there, ghost pattern, call it the ghost. So same action again, but if they want to go for a different colour, sometimes they want a bright pattern. I think they say dark days bright patterns, bright days dark patterns, so they can see silhouette. So whether it's true or not, I don't know. If they're in a feeding mode, it don't matter, does it? So that's a couple of them there. Another one I got off Paul from River Piker shop. That's like a little mini brown trout pattern, Burtox. I think he's still selling some of them, so give him a shout if you want to grab some of them, or have a look at his other stuff as well. You know, he's got some quality stuff going on in that shop. I think I showed you that one rainbow, that's a Peter Temple one. So that's about it really. So I think I've covered most stuff with them. So again, if they're nailing stuff near its surface, if you see fish up near its surface that are like attacking stuff, get something on that's up near its surface. See if you can get their attention with them. Tail baits I've always had, you know, a lot of interest from pike. I think it just gives it that little bit of added attraction, you know. The thing about a jerkbait is the sort of, if you think like a crankbait, yeah, it's coming in like that, all action and what have you. But with a jerkbait, if you can think that you're the pike looking at that, you're only seeing that there. The pike's only seeing that, but that, look what it sees then. Sees the whole fish. So you sort of like think like there's a pike following your lure. So you've jerked it like that. So pike thinks that its prey has seen it. So it's like, oh, and then, you know, give it a few fast twitches and then stop and let it hang like that. So if it's triggered pike into coming after it and taking it, you've given it like that, and it thinks it's getting away, its meal's getting away, and it'll go after it. And then you stop and go on hang like that, bang. So 8 times out of 10, what you'll tend to do is you'll get an hit on the hang. So that's most of the time what's happened with me. And I just think they're a lot more fun to use, you know. So like with jerkbaits, you're having to work the lure, you know. You're not just chucking out a crankbait or a soft plastic and just reeling it in. You know, you can feel action of it, and yeah, they work on the day. I mean, I've got loads of them, so, but I just love using jerkbaits. You know, they're a lot. I get a lot more satisfaction out of being able to work my lure, because all these are different, apart from the, you know, the ones that are the same, you know, the sabres, but they've all got slightly different actions to them. So you've got to, when you put a lure on for the first time, you've got to sort of work out what the best way is to use that lure. Get used to using it, because it'll take you a while, you know. It doesn't happen right often where you get yourself a custom lure and you think, oh yeah, look at that, I'm going to go to my local water and I'm going to have a go in my hot spot. And it don't normally, it can happen sometimes, but not to me anyway. Where you go to your hot spot and you chuck out your new lure and you like that, and bang, you get an hit straight away. It takes you a bit of time to get used to lure and get the best out of it, you know. So that's worth remembering, that you can't always like put a lure on for the first time and just go and catch loads of fish. You've got to learn it. When you see your lure coming in, see what it's doing, try different things and see what action you're getting out of your lure. You know, whether it's darting or whether it's gliding, and you can let it hang a little bit, you know. So it's good to do it in like really clear water so you can see what your lure's doing, and try different things with your lure, different actions, and see what happens. You know, another good thing is you're bringing it in. If you can see a pike following it, you know, give it a couple of quick ones and see what reaction you get out of pike. See what happens. I think that's pretty much covered all of them, is that? So there's another one there, a brown trout swim bait as well. You can see action on that. I think that were made by a Polish lad. Again, I'm shockingly bad. But there's no signature or out like, but it's a custom, is that. Cracking action that. I've had a few fish on that, and it's standing test of time as well, you know. So if you know the person that makes that and you're watching this, put a comment in comment section and let me know, so I'll write it down so I don't forget. And I want to know who makes that. AK Scottish lad. Yeah, so I'll get a few more of them. They're a really good quality lure of them. You can see, really good finish, as they all are really. So I think that's pretty much covered customs. So what I'll do in another video is I'll go over like your crankbaits, and you know, the ones that I've got a lot of confidence in, you know, your super shad wraps and stuff like that, your jointed cranks, your ones with rattles in them, or quiet ones, you know what to do. Sort of like going with a nice subtle action first, you know, fish your margins. So if there's like, you know, if you whack across to the other side at river and you're giving it all like this, and then you get one over there, but there's one down there that you haven't seen, you're going to spook him or her when you're bringing that one in, and you're like, yeah, I've got a pike, brilliant, and all that lot, and putting it back, but you could have had two. So that's worth remembering, that fish your margins first, and then go across to the middle, fan cast it, and then fish your marginal shelf on the other side. If you hadn't had out within a few casts, fan casting, maybe try a different lure maybe. If you hadn't had a take within first dozen casts or so in a swim, then move on and have a look in next one. So yeah, that's one of my top tips. So I think I've pretty much covered everything there. So this is predominantly jerkbait customs video, just to give the guys a shout out, because I think they do a brilliant job. You know, Mark Benton, PM Laws, your Barry Robinsons, your Peter Temples, Dave Greenwood Laws, your Dodo Laws, you know. And if you've got a lure that you catch a lot of fish on, and it's looking a bit battered and bruised, but you love the thing, it's got perfect action for you, and you're catching a lot of fish on it, I think you can send them off to Dave Greenwood, and he'll do a repaint for you, and you can have your lure back as good as new again. Big rattle in that one. That's a service that he does as well, I'm sure. Yeah. So right, I'll wrap this one up. Thanks for watching. Hope you've stood test of time till end of video. If you've had, give us a like. Maybe consider subscribing, because we all like to look at a bit of pike candy, don't we? Have a little tinker with them and look at the quality of them and what have you. So yeah, I'll wrap this one up. So I'll do another one on your soft plastics and your like crankbaits and stuff like that. I'll do one on that, and like other sort of mainstream jerkbaits as well that are readily available. So till next time, tight lines.